Okay, big day here in the Swan family. Today was my last day of employment, and
today was my last day of employment. We're officially retired.
yeah, we're officially retired. It's kind of surreal that we don't have to worry on Sunday about getting up and going to work on Monday. And we both had really good jobs, and it's nothing on our jobs for sure. I mean, we were blessed with where we worked and the people we worked with. But yeah, we are one step closer to getting on the airplane in a little less than a month from now, and heading out to the rest of our future. Okay, so that video that you just saw was from our day of retirement, and it looks like I don't brush my hair in retirement, and maybe I don't brush it like I used to.
It looks good.
My gosh. Anyways, that was our first day of retirement, and then here's a picture I'm putting on the screen now of the first morning of retirement. I got up early and took a picture. Someone stayed in bed.
Me.
But it's not a great picture, but at least I captured the first sunrise of retirement. And as the video stated, we retired on the same day, and it was November the 15th of 2024, so just a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, actually before then, since our last video, and I think our last video was 2 months ago, we've been pretty busy getting ready for leaving our jobs and for which we're going to talk about in our next video. But we gave both of our employers 5 weeks notice, and we felt like that was reasonable for us. It gave us time to get some personal things in order. And I know in our last video that we shared with you all, we weren't certain. We thought it might be a year or 2 or 4 before we actually retired, or before I retired.
Right.
With my employer, which was the federal government, I was going to have to work until age 57 in order to maintain my insurance.
Yeah.
But what happened?
But we found out that my insurance as a retiree through my state job, she was able to come on for a qualifying event. So starting January of 2025, she'll roll over on my insurance, and comparable cost to what it would have been if she'd have stayed another 4 years at her job just to get the insurance. So that's where we're at with the insurance.
Yeah, insurance is a big factor. Luckily, we're pretty healthy right now, but it was the factor that was keeping me at my job, because if I gave up that benefit, there is no going back and getting it at a later date. I still will draw a pension, but I will not be eligible for my pension at 57. Now I have to wait until I'm 62. And so we did numbers and felt like that was okay, that we could work that out. And Russell is drawing a small pension, and we've really worked on our budget as to what it's going to cost us to travel and do what we're planning on doing. The main thing with going on his insurance is we were trying to decide, if we went internationally, would it be worth us keeping that insurance, because we were both under the impression that it was not going to cover us overseas. But you found out something different.
I spoke with a representative at the insurance company. I'll not give the name of it, but you can guess who it is. And I was telling him we needed to check in from what I'd heard, that we was going to be outside the United States. And he said, well, hold on a second. He gave us some phone numbers and some website or extension on the website that we are actually, my plan, we both will be covered internationally. And he said to call this number and look these places up on the website that he gave, because there's a lot of in-network providers around the world with this plan that I have. And he said, basically, call that number and they'd set us up if something happened with an in-network provider, and that way it wouldn't be additional cost for out-of-network. So I thought that was a great resource that we'd found, and hopefully we won't have to use it, but it's there if we need it.
And there are some nuances to it. It's not like going down to your local physician and seeing them. we have to do a couple of extra steps if we utilize this insurance overseas. And it is probably one of the big top two or three providers for sure. And I'm sure that made a difference. So let me put in a disclaimer here. It is your responsibility to find out what your insurance will and will not cover if you decide to travel overseas. I know a lot of companies will not cover you overseas. It's not an option. Or they have a very expensive rider that they'll give to you that you can pay out of pocket that pretty much is, most cases, it's not worth it. But it is a big factor because we were looking at possibly having to do Safety Wing, which is an insurance that a lot of nomads utilize overseas. And like I said, this has all happened in just the last couple of weeks. We have really been blessed to find out this information. And it's going to make a gigantic impact on our budget because what we were thinking we were going to have to do is we were going to have to pay probably $600 or $700 a month out of pocket for his insurance with me on it. And then in addition, we were going to have to pay for Safety Wing, which was going to be another probably $400 or $500 a month. So we were going to be well over $1,000 a month out of our budget just for insurance. So this has been a tremendous blessing for us. Some of the things we've also researched is overseas in many areas, you can pay for a lot of medical procedures out of pocket. They're very inexpensive compared to the United States. But again, a disclaimer, I'm not telling you to drop your insurance and go overseas and everything will be great. You have to do your own research. You have to find out what your insurance will and will not cover and weigh those options because we had talked about just keeping his insurance with me on it for the first year and then possibly dropping it after that if we were not going to be back in the States. So again, totally up to you for your research. Don't depend on what your Uncle Johnny says or your next door neighbor or someone on YouTube or Russell or LJ. Don't rely on what we're saying. Do your own research, contact your insurance provider and verify the information.
And since we have retired or whatever, we have done some other research, not only on medical insurance stuff outside. I mean, your phone plan, how we're going to do, banking and stuff like that, the need for VPNs and stuff like that. We've been pretty busy. It ain't like we've been sitting back for the last 5 weeks just say, oh, whenever this date gets here, we're just going to up and leave. We've been having to do a lot of preparation. So I would say the next biggest thing was the phone plan.
Yeah, and we'll kind of go over that in a future video as well because we've got a unique situation that worked out for us too. It just seems like God has been in this thing. Again, God is not helping me with the hairdo today, but God has been in this thing with us. A lot of people have asked, are we nervous? Are we, scared? And we're not. We're both at peace about it. We're actually leaving next week, less than a week now. And We've been blessed. We're going to Guam, which is where our son is stationed in the Air Force, and our daughter-in-law. So we're going to be there for a few months. And if you were to ask us today, I would say that we're probably going to leave there in February and go to
Southeast Asia. Over maybe Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. We're going to plan it when we get over there. We want to get with our son and our daughter-in-law, and they may want to come with us on, a short excursion, but we're just going to plan it when we get over there, and hopefully have a better plan when that happens, and we'll bring it to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are officially, I guess it's retirement. I didn't retire, I just left, but I think I mentioned I can pick my pension up, but it's going to be later on down the road.
Right.
And you've got your small pension now, so that's good.
And we have set a budget. It ain't like we're just going out here and winging it. We're just going to be, just spending all kinds of money, just the first month. We have set a budget, and it's going to have to be budget friendly where we go. And,
we're not going to be living a lavish lifestyle. Mm-hmm. We didn't live that before we retired, and we're certainly not going to be able to do that afterwards. And we definitely hope you all join us. The next video, I think we're going to discuss what we did with our home. I think you mentioned we sold it already, so kind of the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
But we will talk to you about that decision and
How that plays into our retirement budget and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, and why we decided to do it instead of keeping it, and we'll go from there. So,
So
anything
if
else?
you do want to follow along with us, I know I've said this in previous videos, we're small, we're starting out, but click like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time we put some of these new videos out. So we're hoping to grow it and follow along with us as we do travel, and hopefully we bring something to you that you might find entertaining.
Yeah, and we've been promising numbers, and we just kind of have been reluctant to do that because we didn't want to. We didn't want to put it out there for everyone, which I guess we're going to now. But, you know, we have friends and family, church members. So now that we're leaving the country, I don't guess it really matters. We can put it out there, and we will be doing that very shortly and going over our monthly budget each month, letting you know if we made it, if we went over, if we were able to save anything, and to kind of help you all along as well. So far, I have had no issues fitting into retirement lifestyle, and it has been great. I think I mentioned in that video that we wouldn't have to worry about on Sunday having to get up and go to work on Monday, and that has been fantastic.
And I really like that.
Yeah, it's been great. I didn't realize how much dread there was in my life on Sundays thinking about going into work, and I had a great job. It wasn't that I didn't like my job, so I can't imagine having that if you were miserable at your work. So anyways, like Russell said, join us, and hopefully you'll get something out of our videos. If you've got any questions, please send us a comment and we'll try and answer it. And I apologize for my voice today. I sound like sandpaper or something. I woke up with a little cold this morning. So thank you all, and have a blessed day.